Now they want to say that they've passed it without having the House vote on it.
Now, how do you do this? How do you pass a bill without voting?
Well, you can't. It's a fiction. It's impossible. It would destroy Article 1, Section 7, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution. That portion of the Constitution mandates that any member of Congress's name, like Michelle Bachmann, has to be recorded next to a yes or no vote. And so if you believe the bill is passed, you'd have to have a recorded vote to point to. And what they want to do is pass a rule of debate. So they would want us to vote on a rule that just talks about the parameters of debate. This is how long we'll debate. This is how many amendments you can offer. And on that rule, they want to say that they will stipulate that we've already passed the bill. So they'll pass a rule about the debate, but in the rule, they'll say, well, the bill's already been passed.
This is dishonest as it gets.
It doesn't get any more dishonest. It's breathtakingly unconstitutional, but they can't do that. Because how can you vote just for a rule on how we're going to debate? It's putting the cart before the horse, because in that rule you're saying the bill's already been passed. That's why it's a fiction. It's impossible to do. And I think even the mainstream liberal press out here, their jaws went slack. They just couldn't believe it. I mean, no one's ever seen anything like this before.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann with us here on the Chris Baker radio
show. It
show.
shows how desperate they are to pass this. They're so desperate they can't get their votes together. The Democrats in the House side are so embarrassed of this bill, they don't want their name next to a recorded vote. And that's why they want to figure out some way to say they passed it without actually voting for it.
Well, this is really, first of all, is anyone calling them out on this? I mean, is anyone standing up and saying, listen, you can't do this?
Well, I think a number of us are. I've been trying to get on every media I can nationally and locally to tell people what they're doing here this week, and I think that's why we're going to see so many people at the rally tomorrow, because this is beyond anyone's thinking. I mean, there's a woman who came up to me yesterday, long time working here at the Capitol. She's nonpartisan, been here for years. She had tears in her eyes, and she said to me, "What are they doing to my country? Don't they think they have to even follow the laws anymore? I mean, this is just making it up out of the air. Pass a rule that says we've already passed a bill that we haven't."
But here's what I don't understand. So you have that horrible Senate bill, and then you have the president's little list of what he would like a Christmas list.
Yeah.
And they're treating his Christmas list as if it's an actual piece of legislation, it seems like.
They are. They're treating it like it is a bill. But the Congressional Budget Office tells us how much a bill will cost, and they're throwing their hands up saying, we can't do this. We can't look at this little 11 or 12 pages of bullet points and tell you how much a bill is going to cost. Because, see, what they want to do is they want to pretend that they've passed the bill, and then later, afterwards, they'll figure out what's in it and how much it's going to cost. That's why you heard Speaker Pelosi this week say, let's pass the bill, and then that way we'll know what's in it.
Oh. Now, is there a point where someone can get arrested? I mean, I'm serious. Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann with us here on the Chris Baker program. I mean, there's procedure, there's agreement, there's disagreement, and then, of course, there's tactics, which we've seen in this healthcare debate that are.
Then there's corruption.
Right, absolutely. There's corruption, but at some point, can the American people demand that, as an example, Nancy Pelosi be removed from office? I mean, this is a woman who clearly has zero respect for the American citizen. Zero. I mean, you can't govern without the consent of the governed. So obviously, these are people who are hell-bent on bringing this legislation forward and passing it in any way possible. It's almost like it's a superficial passing of the legislation. And is there any point in which these people should be removed?
Well, you're right. It's as though the people's representatives are irrelevant. because they want what they want, and that has more in common with Chavez in Venezuela than it does with the way that we do business here in the United States. Yes, what could happen is if they decide to go down this very bad road, pass a rule that says that we're just going to pretend that the bill is already passed. If they do that, then American citizens have standing to sue against this bill because everyone will be negatively impacted because of the bill. It will impose the mandates. It will jack up everyone's insurance premiums and taxes. So people would have the right to sue. So you'll see scores of people filing lawsuits against this, and it'll be just tied up in knots. I mean, we've had nothing but division and disruption and frustration, and it's just been chaos here in Washington.
Well, I've seen nothing but deceit. I mean, I'm watching absolute deceit and tactics that I haven't seen since I was a kid watching the old Soviet Union. It seems that everything is, it's a central planning committee.
Yeah, it is. It is.